Of the City of Laurel Historic District Commission. The qualifications of the members of the commission, the staff to the commission, and any consultants used are on file with the city and are hereby made a part of each and every application heard today. Guidelines and procedures adopted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merits and is not to be considered as establishing a precedent for any other application. Brooke, would you, before we start, I would like to remind everyone to please state your name before you speak. Brooke, would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cole,
Present.
Chairwoman McSeany,
Present.
Ms. Snyder, Ms. Frazier,
Present.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Schweitzer,
Here.
Mrs. Les.
Here.
You have a quorum, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank you. Item 2 is approval of the minutes for the regular HDC meeting held May 16th, 2023. I do have one correction. The last 2 items were duplicates.
Noted, thank you.
You're welcome. Are there any other corrections? Could I have a motion to approve?
Madam Chair, I move to approve the minutes with the amendment as mentioned previously.
Thank you.
This is Mary Eileen, I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer.
I believe I was absent at that meeting. Should I abstain from the vote?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Chairwoman McSeany.
I also need to abstain. Thank you.
Motion carries, thank you.
Item number 3, HDC 2023-0088 for 20 Post Office Avenue, submitted by Maria and Mario Thomas. Staff like to present their report.
Yes, good evening, Madam Chairwoman and fellow commission members. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking retroactive Historic District Commission approval to construct an addition to the home located at 20 Post Office Avenue. For the first floor addition, the applicant has constructed an addition to the home on the first floor by extending an existing closet space. The first floor addition measures approximately 12.5 feet by 6.5 feet, and the siding of the addition matches the existing home siding in both color and material. For the second floor addition has already been constructed and measures approximately 14 feet by 13 feet. The siding of the addition matches the existing house in both color, which is gray, and material, and the roofing of the addition matches the existing house in both color and material. The second floor deck, the applicant has constructed a walkout deck on the second floor above the first floor addition. The deck has stairs with railings that are white colored and comprised of vinyl material. The installed addition does not violate the maximum lot coverage as stated in ULDC section 20-6.16, the schedule of area, yard, and height regulations for residential uses. The applicant's proposal appears to meet the design criteria as outlined in the design guidelines of the City of Laurel Historic District Commission, and staff recommends that the HDC retroactively approve certificate number HDC 2023-008. Thank you. That concludes my report. And the applicant, Miss Maria Thomas, is available for any questions.
Thank you. Are there any comments, questions?
No, no questions.
Okay, I actually meant from the commissioners.
I do have a question. On the sheet, the information that comes with it, it said to include the following condition, but there was no condition listed.
Oh, yes, sorry, that was a clerical error on my part. There's no additional conditions.
Okay, okay. And I assume there was a building permit for this.
Yes,
Did the permit office let them know that they should come to the commission?
yeah, I contacted the commission before the addition was built and because the addition was going to be over an existing space on the second floor, the commission didn't require approval.
Is that correct?
This is Ms. Nixini. I don't think so. I think anything that can be seen from the street needs to come before the Historic District Commission. Ms. Thomas, who told you this?
Well, before I built the addition, the addition, I contacted the district commission, right? And because this was not going to, probably I misunderstood because they said that if we cannot see from the street, that we can build, right? So, and when the architect made the plans, he put it all together. So I misunderstood that about the stairs that could be seen from the street. So what's my mistake? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay, so when you got this is Ms. Nixini again, when you got your building permit, did they in that office tell you you needed to come to the HDC?
No, because I knew that I had to get approval from the commission because we moved about 2 years ago and we built the fence, driveway. So
Yeah.
I knew that has to be approved by the district commission.
Right.
So that's why I contact myself, the district commission.
Okay. And you were told that all right, so
If
your
if
addition could be seen from the street?
no, they said because I explained and said that the addition was going to be built over an existing space on the second floor.
Right.
So if that, the room cannot be seen from the street, it didn't require the approval.
Okay, but it's
Yeah,
in
the
what way
room.
did you think that you couldn't see this from the street because it's clearly visible from the street?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the room that is already built cannot be seen from the street. However, the stairs is the problem. And that's why I said, I'm so sorry, I misunderstood. I thought that
Okay.
they didn't need an approval.
Okay, so when you got your building permit, they did not make it clear that you needed to come to the HDC?
No,
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out where the system let us all down so that we can try to prevent this from happening in the future.
yeah, they didn't say anything.
Okay.
This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. Let me jump in here. So when the applicant originally submitted the plans, how it was represented in the plans was that it was not seen from the street. And when the final plans came to fruition, apparently it was different than what was originally submitted.
Turn us on speaker.
So, excuse me, sir, you're not on mute. Whoever that is. So yeah, the application, how it was presented to us, it was not seen from the street, but then once it was constructed, something must have changed during the process, and then that's what made it look, I guess, visible from the end of Post Office Avenue. But upon its submission, that's what we were aware of, that it was not being able to be seen, and that's where we're at now. So.
Okay, so what happened to their building I mean, you know, they've got stairs and everything. Did that get a building permit? And then
The entire
come back to you?
the project itself, all the addition did get a building permit. However, originally when they applied for the HDC, it was different enough to where we, weren't convinced that it was seen from the street. That's what was on our end. And then once it was actually built, it ended up looking different, or I guess more visible. And that's what triggered the response that actually this is visible from the street, therefore it would need HDC approval. So upon submission, we had no reason to believe that it was visible. So.
Okay.
Chairwoman Margie, can you hear me?
Yes, is this Monta?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry. This is Deputy Director Monte Burrs. I do apologize. At the beginning of this whole process, why it took so long to even get a building permit, because we had to make the decision that it was seen from the right of way. This home is seen from a dead end, and later on, it was determined that it can be seen from the right of way, and that's what took really a long time. Miss Rosa did contact us, and the first time around, we did state to her that she didn't have to go before the HDC. So she did get a building permit, I believe, because they had already did inspections on this site. So that was the hiccup and behind why it did never go to the HDC first, because we had determined that the right of way was not, didn't go as far as the dead end, but it later determined it did. So that's why it took so long for Miss Maria to come before us, because we did stagnate the process.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Any other questions or comments?
This is Councilmember Cole. I move to approve HDC 2023-0088 for 20 Post Office Avenue.
This is Mr. Schweitzer. I'll second it.
Brooke, we have a motion to approve in a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Chairwoman McSaney.
Yeah,
Motion carries.
thank you. Brooke, is there a way to see on the screen who all is on the call? Because I didn't see Ms. Thomas.
I'm here.
I realize you're here,
She
but
doesn't have her camera on.
okay, so but she's not even listed. Is there not a way to see who is attending via telephone?
Oh, is that the phone number at the bottom?
I don't see of my screen.
Oh,
On my screen, I can see the participants,
Right.
but I don't know if that's on your screen because I'm
No.
host. No, okay.
Well, because you are sharing your screen, I'm seeing exactly what you see. So, okay, that's just a little disconcerting to know that might be people who we don't know who they are.
I mean, I can see my list. I have a list of participants on my screen, but I think because I'm the host, it's showing me, but it might not be sharing that live.
I can see 23 that there are 23 participants, but only a few are shown. Okay. Item number 4. HDC 2023-0122 for 409 Laurel Avenue. Submitted by Irenia Barbosa. Would staff like to present their report?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is Emily Klein Gibson with the Department of Economic and Community Development presenting the staff report. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to install a gazebo in the backyard of a property located at 409 Laurel Avenue. The proposed gazebo will be 14 by 16 feet in size and 8 feet tall. The proposed gazebo will be made of pressure-treated lumber, and the gazebo roof will have architectural style shingles in gray color to match the shingles on the house. Staff recommends that HDC approve certificate number 2023-0122. This concludes my report. I do not believe the applicant is present, but I'm here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments? Could I hear a motion or not?
This is Mary Anning. I move to approve HDC 2023-0122.
This is Ms. Frazier. I second that motion.
Thank you. Brooke, we have a motion to approve and a second. Could you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Chairwoman McSaney.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. HDC 2023-0125 for 383 Main Street. The applicant is seeking permission to replace stairs. Would the staff like to present their report?
Yes, good evening again, Madam Chair and fellow commission members. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking retroactive Historic District Commission approval to replace the stairs. The applicant has replaced the existing stairs with stairs of a similar design in the exact place. The installed stairs have gray flooring and white railing comprised of composite material. The installed pillars are anchored by 3 feet deep concrete pilings. Staff recommends that the Historic District Commission retroactively approve certificate number HDC 2023-0125, and the applicant, Mr. Chang Liu, is available on the call if any questions are needed. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from the commissioners? Thank you, sir, for coming to our virtual meeting. It is appreciated. I have a question. In the application, there are recommendations from an engineer. Are you planning on taking, implementing those recommendations?
Hi, yes, we are. There are some, we did hire an engineer to do an evaluation of the steps that we were building. And he has some recommendations that we are planning to follow through with those. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. That was my only question. Anyone else? Could I have a motion?
This is Ms. Frazier. I move that we approve HDC 2023-0125 for 383 Main Street.
This is Mr. Schweitzer. I'll second it.
Brooke, we have a motion to approve and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Ms.
Brooke?
Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Chairwoman McSeany.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
And good luck with your construction. And I would like to remind participants to mute themselves unless they are speaking, please. Item number 6, HDC 2023-0128 for 345 Main Street, submitted by Brian and Ruth Ann Miles to replace, or they have already replaced 4 windows. Would staff like to present their report, please?
Yes, this is again Josh Mitchell, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking retroactive Historic District Commission approval to replace the existing windows at the property located at 345 Main Street. 4 original wood frame windows measuring 32 inches by 53 inches were replaced with vinyl windows of the same size. The installed windows are 1/1 and have white trim. Staff recommends that the Historic District Commission retroactively approve certificate number HDC 2023-0128. Thank you.
Comments or questions from any of the commissioners?
Is the applicant, Mr. Schweitzer, is the applicant now aware of what the procedure is?
Yes, I talked to him when he came in.
Okay.
This is Councilmember Cole. I move to approve HDC 2023-0128 for 345 Main Street.
This is Mary Eileen. I'll second.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Would you call the roll, please, Brooke?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Chairwoman McSeany.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Item number 7, HDC 2023-0129 for 202 Stanley Place, submitted by Jose Morales, seeking to approval for a fence that has already been installed. Would staff like to present their report?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is Emily Klein Gibson with ECD presenting the staff report. The applicant is seeking retroactive Historic District Commission approval to install a backyard fence on a property located at 202 Stanley Place. The fence is flatboard style and 6 feet tall. Fence is 18 feet long from the house to both the right and left property lines, 24 feet along the right side property line towards the backyard, and 14 feet from the left side property line towards the backyard. The new fence connects to an existing fence that is located in the backyard. The applicant has taken down some previous fencing so that no fencing is back to back. Staff recommends that HDC retroactively approve certificate number 2023-0129. This concludes my report. The applicant is not present, but I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Are there any comments or questions? Okay, on did you hear my question? We don't
This
know.
is the deputy director. Yeah, this is deputy director, but I know Emily has been out there. I know we have been inspecting, so that fence should be removed.
So, so Mr. Morales has been told he needs to remove his fence? I mean, do we know who?
Yes, he has.
Okay. So the next door neighbor owns the white fence.
Yeah, he knows he should because we've been working with him up until the last seconds of the hour to ensure. And Emily went out last week to inspect, so there shouldn't be no back-to-back or any fencing touching.
Okay.
My apologies. This is Emily Klein Gibson. My internet must have cut out, but I am available for questions.
Okay, so I was asking about the two fences back to back.
Yes, thank you for the question. The pictures in the packet are the original pictures that the applicant submitted with the application. Upon speaking with the applicant, working with them, they have taken down on the right side, the white fence. So now there's just the new wooden fence.
Okay,
The same with the left side.
okay, thank you. So that fence belonged to him and not the neighbor.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Comments?
I have a general question. I know that board-on-board fence is not permitted in the front of a house, but it can come up to the front corner of the house. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Could I have a motion to approve or not approve, please?
This is Mary Eileen. I move to approve HDC 2023-0129 for 202 Stanley Place.
This is Councilmember Cole. I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve in a second. Would you call the roll, please, Brooke?
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes,
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Chairwoman McSeany.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 8, HDC 2023-0130 for 29 C Street, submitted by Randall Rill. The applicant is seeking approval to replace concrete stairs and landing. Would staff like to present their report?
Hey, good afternoon. This is Randall from Clarksville Construction. We're going to be removing the existing concrete slab and stairs. We're going to be rebuilding the same size, 4 foot by 6 inch width, 10-foot length, using the same. We're going to be using concrete and rebar and building the same exact size steps. They're going to be wrapped in galvanized railings on both sides going down the stairs and around the concrete slab.
Thank you. Any question?
Excuse me, Ms. McSinney, Emily hasn't given her staff report.
Well, I realized that Real took me to me. Me referring to staff as him. Do we need to have a staff report? I mean, I feel like that was fairly clear.
This is Emily Klein Gibson. I have nothing more to add, other than that staff recommends approval.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions, comments?
This is Councilmember Cole. I move to approve HDC 2023-0130 for 29 C Street.
This is Ms. Frazier. I second that.
Brooke, we have a motion to approve and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes,
Mrs. Les,
Yes,
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes,
Chairwoman McSinney.
Yes, thank you.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rill, for coming to our meeting. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Item number 9, HDC 2023-0131 for 513 and 515 Main Street, submitted by Anisha Thompson, seeking retroactive approval to paint the front doors. Would staff like to present their report?
Yes, good evening, Madam Chair and fellow commission members. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking retroactive HDC approval to paint the existing doors located at 513 and 515 Main Street. The doors were previously painted red, and the applicant has painted the doors in a magenta color, which is like a combination of purple and red. It's a little bit pinkish. Staff recommends that the Historic District Commission retroactively approve certificate number HDC 2023-0131. I do not see the applicant, Ms. Anisha Thomas, on the line. And yes, that concludes the reading of our report. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. This is a question for Brooke. Is the color, which really isn't represented in the photograph, is that anywhere close to any color that is on our color palette? Pre-approved color palette?
It is not.
Also, in speaking with the applicant previously, before they got signed up for the HDC, they have expressed willingness to return it back to red if the commission so wishes. But yeah, that's what they've communicated to the ECD.
I think that would be fantastic.
Okay, yes, that can be relayed to Ms. Thompson and the management company.
This is Councilmember Cole. I move to approve HDC 2023-0131 with the changing of the paint color back to the original red.
this is Mr. Schweitzer. I'll second that.
Thank you, Brooke. We have a motion to approve the original red color and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes,
Mrs. Les,
yes,
Ms. Frazier,
yes,
Chairwoman McSinney.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 10, HDC 2023-0134 for 363 Main Street. The applicant is seeking retroactive approval for signs. Would staff present?
Yes, good evening again. This is Joshua Mitchum, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking retroactive HDC approval to install window signage at the Foviet 75 business located at 363 Main Street. At the time of the application, the applicant has placed 2 sets of window decal signs on the storefront of the business. The business has two sets of windows on the left and right side, and one decal sign has been placed on each window. The installed sign decals measure approximately 81.75 inches and by 30 inches, and is comprised of vinyl decal material. The left side window decal has no message and shows a picture of the food offered at the business. The right side window decal has no message and shows 3 different pictures of the food offered at the business. Staff recommends that the HDC retroactively approve certificate number HDC 2023 -0134 with the following conditions. The existing menu signs and the additional signage that has been placed above the 2 window signs, the 2 window decals shall be removed. So as of recently, the applicant or the business has put kind of 2 more signs above it, further obscuring the window. So I'm recommending that those recently installed signs be removed, and that has been relayed to the applicant. That concludes the reading of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. Is the applicant on the line?
I did not see the applicant, Mr. Q Dong. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. My apologies.
Does the square footage or inchage meet requirements?
Yes. So they just barely made it. The 2 signs that have been placed above them that are recent, that would bring it over. So that's why I'm recommending that those come down. That way, it's a relatively unobscured view into the business.
I mean, my only thought is that I don't really feel photos of food enhance Main Street. But that's just my opinion. Is there anyone who wants to approve these signs?
This is Mr. Schweitzer. I tend to agree with you that the kind of signs that they are just don't get it done when you come to an historic place like that. If they could find a different way to get their point across with the food, I get it. It just doesn't, I don't think much thought was given to the historic nature of the building or Main Street when it was just kind of slapped up on the window. That's really all I got for that one.
Any other comments?
I concur with both of those, that it just doesn't look right.
I agree.
Okay, we have 4 commissioners who do not want to approve this. So what would our steps be exactly, Brooke?
Madam Chair, if I can interject to all the councilors, this is a restaurant. Do you have any suggestions that you would like for them to display on this window? Because this is a restaurant, and most restaurants, they do advertise what they are selling or what they are giving, or what foods they are serving. A lot of restaurants do this. So do you guys have suggestions, or would you just flat out deny it? This is Deputy Director Burroughs. I would like to hear what would your suggestions be.
Well, this is Mr. Schweitzer. Maybe if they can make the signs a little smaller,
Mhm.
and maybe construct them in a different manner and make them a little smaller, I just think they're too big. And I know you said they're just within the guidelines. I don't know. That's all I have, just smaller, I think.
This is Miss McSeany. If you drive by Red Hot and Blue, Olive on Main, I-5, there are no pictures of food. Applebee's, BJ's Brew House, I'm trying to think of restaurants, Tampico, no pictures of food, and they're not in the historic district. They could frame a menu and put it in the window. That would be attractive, probably. That would be my suggestion. If you want some smaller pictures of food, maybe. They've been to the HDC before for their bright orange awning, which is, I think that draws a fair amount of attention because it's bright, so those would be my suggestions.
Okay, thank you. I just was asking because I understand, what you're comparing it to, but I know also a lot of restaurants, especially carry-out type restaurants, do display large pictures of their food that they're serving. So when my planner does go back to the applicant, he can give them alternatives that hopefully will get them an approval. So I do thank you guys for doing that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So Brooke, what is our next step? Anything?
So you could either do an approval with a condition that they make the signage smaller, or you could do a motion to deny.
Okay, thank you. My concern would be that if we give them some kind of approval, I feel like we need to see whatever it is first.
Can
Since-
we table?
Madam Chair, if I can interject, I believe you can give a timetable if you feel that if you approve it and they do not do what you have suggested in a certain amount of time, we can go back to denying it.
Well, I feel like they need to present whatever it is they want to do. So it would be a new app. We would need to see it. So wouldn't that necessitate a new application?
And also, another thing, because of the guidelines that they also, fit within the guidelines, we may not have the authority or power to deny on our end because they fit in the criteria. So the onus goes back on the commission if you approve or deny.
So I'm thinking what I would like, I think we need to deny this because we think that these are inappropriate signs.
If I may, just a quick interjection. In section 20-26.31, this is Joshua, Mr. Michi, staff. It's saying that the Historic District Commission may deal with the design of such signs, but not the content. So I think, are we objecting to the pictures of the food, or is it literally just the sign, or sorry, the size?
I think it's both.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure if we might have to speak with the city solicitor, but if it's on the basis of content, it does say in the guidelines that the HDC can't necessarily deal with the content. If it's the food that's the objectionable part, we would have to do our research on that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is Mr. Schweitzer. Can we ask him to try Mrs. McSeany's idea about putting the menu in the window?
I can ask the applicant that, absolutely, sir.
Okay.
And I don't know what the signs that you asked him to remove look like, but would those be more appropriate?
It's more pictures of food. Technically, it's I think it's like a type of smoothie that they serve. So
I mean, I am kind of at a loss if we as a commission cannot limit certain signs, it seems like it would be kind of the Wild West that, everybody could do this and Main Street would no longer look at all historic. So why would we even be here? It's not like this is a storefront sign. This is kind of more of a decoration they have put in their window to me. But, we can ask if somebody would like to make a motion, maybe Greg.
Repeat the motion again.
Well, you did mention suggesting to them that they remove the signs and just
Yeah.
put a couple of menus in the window.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome. So I'd like to make a motion that they remove the signs and we allow them to place their menus in the window and see if they're agreeable to that on this packet.
Do I have a second?
Mary Eileen, I'll second.
Thank you, Brooke. We have a motion to amend HDC 2023-0134 and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes?
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes,
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Chairwoman McSeany.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11, HDC 2023-0136 for 522 Main Street, submitted by Betsy Welch. The applicant is seeking approval for a walkway.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is Emily Klein Gibson with ECD presenting the staff report. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to install a sidewalk, 2 landings, and some steps in the back of a property located at 522 Main Street. The proposed sidewalk will help with food deliveries to the St. Philip's Little Chapel Pantry. For the sidewalk and landings, the applicant proposes to install an 80 feet long by 4 foot wide sidewalk from the front of the building along the side of the building towards the backyard. There will be 1 proposed landing 10 by 10 feet in size located in the front of the building and 1 landing 8 feet by 8 feet in size located towards the back of the building where the proposed sidewalk will end. These landings are made of concrete material as well as the sidewalk. For the steps, the applicant proposes to install a few steps that will connect the proposed landing in the backyard to the sidewalk that's already existing along Prince George Street, which is down a slight hill. Staff recommends that HDC approve certificate number 2023-0136. This concludes my report, and the applicant and representative of the church, Ms. Welsh, is available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a couple questions. Are you replacing your maze thing? It's hard to tell on the drawing. Betsy on the line?
I see your name on.
So do I.
Betsy, are you with us?
My name is James Martin. I'm also representing the church as well. So in case she doesn't answer.
Well, great. If you could answer that question.
Okay, can you repeat that question, please?
So you have the little, I don't know what it's called, the Serenity Path Garden Maze thing in the back of the
Yes.
property. Is that going to be replaced with this landing?
No, it will not. It won't. That will still stay in existence.
Okay.
I have a question. This is Ms. Frazier. Will it be necessary to remove the tree?
No, I've talked with the contractor and the tree will stay there.
And what about the two graves? Will they be disturbed?
No, we are, that is just about what the 4-foot path is between the two markers. And we had done some research to know, to find out if they were actually graves or just markers, but we still are gonna put the walk in between those. So we're not gonna disturb that.
So you have 4 feet between them?
Yes, ma'am.
Good, good.
This is Ms. McSeany again. Was there any thought to possibly using permeable concrete? There are rebates available from the Chesapeake Bay Trust.
I'm not, familiar with the type of contractor, excuse me, I could take that recommendation back to the contractor, but I don't know the differences between the concrete. I just, he just provided, that information. So you said it's called permanent?
Permeable, so the water will seep through the concrete instead of all running off. It's more expensive, but that's why you can get a rebate for it.
You can get a rebate for it
Yes, because
from the
it's
state or the city?
from the Chesapeake Bay Trust. I can send Ms. Welch the information if you would like.
Okay, so if that's the case, we don't have to work, because he was gonna pitch it obviously for the runoff. So therefore that runoff would not, that pitch don't have to be if you use this type of concrete?
Probably, I don't know. When I looked into it, when I looked into permeable surfaces for where I park my car, the angle is too great to qualify because the water runs off onto more pavement anyway. So having permeable wouldn't be very helpful at all. So I can't address that. But I can send her the information.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
This is Councilmember Cole. I think this will greatly help the food chapel. I move to approve HDC 2023-0136.
This is Ms. Frazier. I second that motion.
Thank you, Brooke. We have a motion to approve and a second. Would you call the roll?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer, Chairwoman McSeany. McSeany,
Okay,
motion
thank
carries.
you.
You too. Somebody can correct me in my pronunciation, and staff, if you would like to present your report.
Yes, good evening, Madam Chairwoman and fellow commission members. This is Joshua Mitchell, ECD staff. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to perform several exterior renovations to the property located at 708 Montgomery Street. Item number 1, the French door. The applicant is proposing to replace a second floor bedroom window with a similarly styled French door. The trim of the door will be painted white to match the color of the window that it will be replaced with. Item number 2, a roof railing installation. The applicant is proposing to install 21.7 lineal feet of railing on the second floor roof of the house. The railing will be approximately 32.5 inches tall. The applicant states that the railing is intended to create a deck area on the second floor, which will be accessed by the the aforementioned proposed French door. The railing will be stained in gray color and will be comprised of wood material and have a center post with a ball top. Item number 3, a porch light installation. The applicant is proposing to install a small French style black porch light on the second floor roof. Staff recommends that the Historic District Commission approve certificate number 2023-0138. And the applicant is available on the line with any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh. I think it sounds lovely. Any other comments or questions?
I'd like to speak in favor of it since he's my next door neighbor and I gotta look after the professor here. I actually went over and looked, there was a rail there at one time.
Okay. And you don't like having to watch him clamber out the window?
Yeah, you're right on that. I don't want him to get hurt, all right? He's a good neighbor.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
This is Councilmember Cole. I move to approve HDC 2023-0138 for 708 Montgomery Street.
It's Mayor Dialing. I'll second.
Thank you, Brooke. We have a motion to approve and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Chairwoman Maxini,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Judge Nichols, would you please share the proper pronunciation of his last name?
Theodore Grant.
Grant.
He's a Grant. He is a music professor. He should be there. So he was or is a University of Maryland music professor.
Okay, thank you very much.
He doesn't like the music from the Boys and Girls Club while we're on the topic. So. Hey, while we're here, I don't think the church gets a tax break because they don't pay taxes. Not to get in the middle of this, but
You are correct. I don't think they've ever asked for one, so.
right. I don't think they get it because they don't pay taxes. In any event, I didn't mean to get in the middle of this. I'm just glad you're there. Hey, whatever happened to the widow Blankenship in the tree? The last time I was here, that was a huge issue.
She's the tree is gone, and
She said, she told me she thought the holly came under the willow tree. One application.
I didn't mean to scratch open an open sore. I just want to stay on the good side here.
no worries. Item number 13.
I'll see you all later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Item number 13, HDC 2023-0139 for 628 to 632 Main Street, submitted by Cameron Manesh, seeking approval for signage. Would staff like to present their report?
Yes, good evening. This is Emily Klein Gibson with ECD presenting the staff report. The applicant is seeking Historic District Commission approval to install a sign located at 628 to 632 Main Street. The proposed sign is 2 by 2 feet in size and made of aluminum material. The proposed sign will be white in color with the numbers 628, 630, and 632 written in black and orange letters. The proposed sign will be located on the left side of the building. The applicant states that the proposed sign will help the public know that there are commercial units located in the back of the building. Staff recommends that HDC approve certificate number 2023-0139. This concludes my report, and the applicant, Mr. Manesh, is available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions? If not, could I hear a motion?
This is Mr. Schweitzer. I'll make a motion. We approve it.
Thank you.
This
How
is
about
Councilmember Cole. I'll second.
Thank you. Brooke, we have a motion to approve and a second. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Schweitzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Cole,
Yes.
Miss Frazier,
Yes.
Mrs. Les,
Yes.
Chairwoman McSeany.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. And then there are 4 staff approvals. Are there any questions or comments on those? Okay, if not, I would like to apologize, like so many pieces of software, when things get updated, I guess settings change. I did not realize that I could change the view of the attendees, and I did figure out how to do that. I thought it was what was on Brooke's screen. So I apologize for that. Is there anything else from anyone?
Before we get off, I just have something quick to share. So a couple weeks ago, myself, Emily, and Sydney attended a preservation planners focus group. And it had statewide jurisdictions of historic district commissioners, commission members, staff members, and I just wanted to let you guys know that everybody else is in the same boat. They're dealing with the same issues that we are, as far as work being done without approval and public outreach issues. But it was very interesting and insightful. And we at the city are working towards making some improvements. I know we were promised a new website, and that's hopefully coming later this year. We are also updating the actual application form to hopefully gather more information from the applicant from the get-go. Hopefully also adding a social media platform. Not sure if it'll be Instagram or Facebook or what, but we're just trying to make some type of more effort in getting word out to people. And also we're looking into doing like an annual award to a property owner that, you know, has done all the improvements, cosmetics the proper way, as an incentive on top of the tax credit. I don't think enough people are applying for the tax credit, but I think an annual award would be a great idea. So I just wanted to share that, with you guys.
Thank you, Brooke. That sounds like some exciting new ideas.
Yeah, and we'll, keep you guys updated as things move along, of course.
Okay, anything else? Perhaps a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we'll see you all in July. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Hey.
Good night.
Good night.